This is Beyond the Fold, where we talk about what matters most in modern business. I'm Lawrence Hitches, the GM of Studio Hawk, a globally renowned SEO agency. In each episode, I sit down with people shaping the future of marketing and business. We'll hear how they got started, the wins, the pivots, and the hard lessons learned along the way. So let's get into it. Hey, so today we have Mia Klitsas from Moxie, one of Australia's leading progressive period care brands. And you grew it without compromising your values, which I think we're going to talk about today because we love talking about values here. First off, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Long day, busy day?
Both of those. Cold day.
Cold day.
Thanks, Melbourne.
Yeah, but we're nice and cozy in here.
It's great.
Now, I have to admit, I'm not an expert on period care.
You will be after this chat.
After this. So treat me as a complete, I know they happen. You know, they usually happen once a month regularly. But I am an open book, and I think my wife will appreciate me learning a lot from you. And I'm sure you've got a lot of knowledge to share to our audience as well.
I'm ready. Are you?
I'm a little bit nervous. It's not my wheelhouse.
It's a safe space.
Yeah, exactly. So help me along in this journey. But I'd love to hear how it all started. How did you jump into period care and just start going all in on that?
Yeah, it's not the sort of career choice that you hear kids talk about, is it? Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to start a tampon brand. Yeah. It's definitely not something that I thought about at all until I was presented kind of with the pain point, really. Not even the idea. It was the pain point that sparked it all. So I was interning actually whilst I was at uni. So I was studying a Bachelor of Business Marketing in Melbourne at RMIT, and I was interning in a big multinational working in new product development, and I was looking at lots of packaging innovations and had this kind of crazy off-the-cuff idea to repackage tampons. It was tampons initially, eventually pads as well, but tampons, and to package them better so that they wouldn't roll around in my handbag. And the idea was to put them in refillable, recyclable tins.
Yes.
No one had done anything like that. Like everything came in plastic bags, cardboard flip-top boxes that always broke open in your bag. Like every single one of my friends had a horror story about that lone tampon that was, you're nodding. So I feel like you've even heard these stories.
Well, like it falls out of the bag.
It falls out.
Yeah, and it's
exactly.
still a private thing
And
to
when
people.
you're desperate,
Yeah.
when you're desperately in need for a product and you've got that one lone dusty tampon in the bottom of your bag, you really think about whether you want to use it or
That's
not.
a pain point.
I thought there
100%.
has to be a better option.
And no one had thought of that until...
No one had thought of it. Had never been done before. So I thought, I'm just going to explore this.
It was a boring space, I think, then. It was just the similar
really
packaging.
Stagnant. Yeah,
Standard.
Mature category, dominated by massive multinationals.
Yeah.
And, 21-year-old me thought, I'm just going to give it a crack. I had nothing to lose, which is why I went all in. I just thought I'll give it a go. And I did, and wow, that was 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
I actually, my ex did have the tin packaging. I remember
amazing.
that. So that stuck in my head. And I always be like, yeah, that's different from everything else I've seen. So that's cool.
It was one of those moments where I kind of thought, and then there was like this rush and this sense of urgency to do it and to put it out into market, because I thought, how has no one kind of done anything like this before?
It makes
just made so much sense to me. And the more people I spoke to and the more friends I spoke to, they went, that's actually a really good idea. You should try it. And I did. I took it to Woolworths and they ranged it immediately.
Was there a lot of friction behind that discussion, or were they like, let's do it?
No, it was amazing. It's almost like a dream kind of thing. Like you don't really hear a lot of those stories nowadays, and I'm making it sound like it was simple, and it wasn't. But I think, look, it helped. I think we had a truly innovative product and we backed it and we went in with something really unique, and they said, wow, never seen anything like it. Let's do it.
Did you have to battle against any of the big players in this
Yes.
space? I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, we got thrown around a lot. We got bullied a lot, I'm not going to lie. Look, I think being very young, very green, I think a lot of them probably thought they could just scare me off. But yeah, I was young and green and wouldn't be told and wasn't going to be scared off easily. So
making a crazy entry into our market, like
yeah,
trying to scare her out of it.
Yeah, pretty much. pretty much. And that went on for a while. But we're still here.
Yeah. And so what's it like compared today, from that young era to now? Like, what's the difference in terms of size of team or even like revenue?
Interesting. I mean, the business has been through so many different iterations. Like over 20 years. I mean, we launched when there was no social media. So the landscape from an advertising marketing perspective has changed. The consumer has changed. We went through the GFC, global financial crisis, COVID. So
people complain about COVID, but you went through a GFC.
GFC as well. We've exported. We nearly lost our whole business doing that because we had a warehouse that had like $500,000 worth of our stock, who was holding our stock at the time, who went into liquidation without telling us and lost, in inverted commas, lost our stock. That nearly sunk our whole business. So the business has really changed. The size of the team has changed. And it's forced us to be we've had to be nimble. But I think ultimately we've remained kind of small. I'd say we're still a small business, but I've loved that. I think that's what's allowed us to be nimble and to compete against such large players, because we don't have this like massive decision tree.
Yeah. It's just you at the top and then a couple of key decision makers?
Yeah.
Let's get moving.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. Really, in any size business, if you can reduce the red tape sort of thing, I think it allows you to be more efficient, more nimble, and just a lot sharper.
Yeah. What were some of those moments early on where you knew, I think I'm onto something? So there's getting into Woolworths. I'm sure you were over the moon about that. Was there any other like key moments where you're like, wow, like I'm doing it?
Seeing it on the shelf.
Yeah.
I remember really vividly being in the cab on the way back from my meeting with Woolworths and calling my mum and just having this moment of being like, because they pretty much told us in the meeting that they were going to accept it, which they don't do anymore. And I remember calling my mum and I literally said, what have I done? And it just became so suddenly very real. So there was that moment. But seeing it on the shelf was like, oh my gosh, it's real. Like this is happening. And then when the competitors started coming for us, I thought, yeah, we're onto something. That was pretty satisfying though, actually. There was something about that was kind of satisfying.
Copycats? People doing
We got
similar?
some copycats as well.
Yeah,
we got a few copycats, which again, I think that's how you kind of know you're onto something and you're doing something that that's unique. And yeah, it's, what do they say? Imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery.
Yeah.
So
try and fight them off, or do you just sort of let them?
I think it just pushes you. I think it's motivating, if anything. I think it just pushes you to keep going and to continue to iterate and just do different things. I think there's no point wasting time and energy fighting them. We have always had our trademarks really well locked up and we've always been quite secure from that perspective. If that's one tip for anyone listening, is to just really lock down your trademarks from the beginning, globally if you can. Now that everything is so global with online, lock down your trademarks from day one. So for us, it just, it was just about moving on. What's next? Just keep moving. They can't catch you if you're continually moving,
You're always playing on offense in the business. Just keeping innovating the product.
Don't burn your time just defending all the time.
Yeah. So, beyond that first stage, you're in Woolworths, seeing on the shelf. Are you going in every day sort of checking out the products and sort of observing it?
There was a period of time where, I was a little, spending my time.
Face it up a bit.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bit exciting to see it. Friends were going in, my mum was going in and, it was a bit exciting.
What was the next stage after that? Was it more into more retailers or was it expanding out different product lines? How did it go from there?
Yeah, so initially it was more retailers and that happened pretty quickly. So we had some knocks on the door, which was pretty exciting. And that was kind of within months. Once we were out. And I think things are a little different now in that, particularly for smaller brands, given that Australia is essentially running kind of a duopoly. You've got 2 major grocery chains, 2 major pharmacy chains, and as a smaller player, it's kind of to your advantage to give them exclusivity, and they tend to want that also. Whereas then it was a little different. if one had you, the other one wanted you as well.
Yeah. Oh, you're cool.
So, yeah, which was amazing for us. So very quickly, we had other retailers come knocking, and so we were like, oh my gosh, it's time to scale pretty quickly. So we did, and we were in pretty much all the major retailers in Australia, and then we had knocks from overseas, and we weren't quite ready to expand overseas. If I'm like really honest with myself, they actually pretty much said to us, if you don't range with us, we're basically going to copy it. Not in those words, but they said
the global.
Yeah.
US
So there was an international player, not naming names, but they said, if you don't range with us, we're essentially just going to do our own version of it.
Wow.
So we said, okay, we better do that. So we did, but it was premature. If I think back now, I think it was too soon.
And if you had said no, you'd been fine with that?
I don't know. In hindsight, maybe, but then I think we were just a bit scared. We thought, do we want to miss the boat? Are we missing a huge opportunity? And so we gave it a go. I'm not a what if person. I'm a huge risk taker. So I'm just like, what's the worst that can happen? I'm very much like a plan Z person. So I always think, literally, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I think of that situation. And if I'm not scared off by that situation entirely, then I tend to go for it.
That makes sense. For me, the worst case situation is always, I can get a job instead of running Studio
Hawk. And that was
mine. I can just get a normal job.
Yeah, that was sort of where I was at.
Catch me at Bunnings,
I was like,
catch me, flipping, doing the sausage sizzle. I don't mind.
Yeah.
But I'm in here right now just doing the thing and taking a bit of a riskier approach to life.
Yeah. So I always think about like, what's that worst case scenario? What does that look like? Am I comfortable enough with that?
Yeah.
How do I feel about it?
I think it works over time. I think you made the right choices.
Yeah. And look at that. I think that like the snowball effect of all of that taught me a lot about business, taught me a lot about decision making. So it had its place. I think it had its place ultimately. Like I said, it kind of nearly sunk the business, like exporting, when we did. And some of those, like I said, some of those decisions were challenging, but it's all part of it. Yeah. Who knows how things would have turned out had we not? Yeah. Don't know.
And something you were more control of, and we've, highlighted before, is the bet into social media, like early on. And you told me that you didn't spend any money, like $0 in investing in particularly TikTok initially.
Yeah.
When did you get into that, and why? Like, how did that happen?
TikTok's such an interesting beast. So
you got in early, I'm assuming.
We got in pretty early, and I think that was the key. Like right time, right place, right message, right audience. It was almost like the perfect storm. Even me just saying it is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that we literally were there right on cue kind of thing. I think with Instagram, we were too late. Yeah. Instagram's always been so challenging for us. And I got to the point where I've kind of sacked it.
Not bothering?
Well, literally once we were just flying on TikTok, we actually put a post up on Instagram that literally said, like, we've moved. You can't find us here anymore.
You're just keeping it alive for whatever brand
purposes?
So
now it's essentially, I call Instagram the business card, because I think there is still a huge part of the market who still look to your Instagram. And I think they just want to know that you're a legitimate business, a legitimate brand. And so many people are still on that platform. So I call it the business card. It's there. We post irregularly, but it doesn't grow. It's so stagnant. It's a very visual platform. So as much as I think people talk about wanting this whole unfiltered type look and feel, it's still so visual, and people still expect, a more polished look. It's not what we can deliver with our brand. We're a period care brand. It's not something that's necessarily, I think our packaging's super cute. We've just rebranded. It's really sweet. Yeah. But it's not, you can only deliver so much visually with a period care brand. So TikTok, on the other hand, has allowed us to really deliver our mission, which is a huge part of our mission, which is to provide people with free and easily accessible period and intimate health education. We can be a lot more descriptive. We can be a lot more raw. We
face
can
to
be
face, sort of talking
face
to the
to face.
camera.
We can be a little more not safe for work.
Just filmed on an iPhone, just filmed in the bathroom.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's so raw, you know. And the thing I love about TikTok is I always say that, you know, you can't break it. Your audience tells you what sticks. So at one point we were doing 10 videos a day. And we thought, you know what, we'll just try it. We know our audience is there. There's a lot of young people on the platform and we'll just give it a go. And we did. And when I say it snowballed, like it took off so quickly.
10 posts a day was it?
We were doing 10 posts a day at one point. And within like 18 months, we had amassed 1 million followers. We're at 1.3 now.
Wow.
Fully organic. Never spent a cent on advertising or an influencer.
Yeah. No roadmap, no strategy, just posting videos.
Kind of no strategy. It was just posting. I mean, there is, I guess in a way that is a strategy, was
just do
posting the content that our audience were essentially asking us for. So answering a lot of questions. We were getting a lot of DMs, a lot of questions on the videos, and we would literally just do lots of comment replies, answering the things that they wanted to know about. And we just kept doing more of it, and they kept coming.
It's an infinite wheel because
Yeah.
you know, more people or more teenagers are coming
Yeah.
into their time when they're getting their first period. And
Exactly.
I guarantee you that's a pain point.
Yeah.
You've never experienced something before and you're asking a question and there's a brand that's telling you on a platform that you engage with regularly.
That's right.
This is what happens and you know, this is what you should do or this is something you should be conscious of.
Yeah.
It's almost it is actually the perfect platform for you.
Perfect. As I said, perfect platform, right place, right time, but also right message. And it has been the platform that has really allowed us to deliver that message. Instagram hasn't allowed us to do that. But also people don't go to Instagram for that kind of messaging. I feel like people go to TikTok to learn something. They engage with it that way. It's kind of that YouTube effect. It's a different platform. And we thought, let's try. Let's try. You can only try. And it worked. Like, yay. Like finally, like a platform that really worked. Facebook had also really worked for us.
Yep.
That was really big for us, but nowhere near the reach and the rapid growth of TikTok.
Yeah. Do you have a whole engine behind it?
There is an engine, but
it's a team structure.
It's a very lean engine.
Yeah.
It's lean. It's efficient and it's lean. Yeah, it's been great. As I said, I mean, I think because we don't run ads, we're not doing any of that just yet. It is quite lean. It obviously could. I mean, I wonder what it could become if we did start investing more in it as a resource. I think once we expand further internationally, which we're working on at the moment, which this has kind of now come about because of TikTok, we're getting a lot more interest from some more export markets. I think once that really starts to take off, then we'll explore how we use TikTok in other ways. But for now, it's been all organic and we've got this far. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens, where we can take it. But it's been a fantastic platform. So perhaps not for everyone, but I guess people often ask, you know, how and what did you do? I think as brands, businesses, we've all got something to teach. I think it's just finding that sweet spot of what your audience are interested in, what they want to learn from you.
Yeah.
And not all platforms are for everyone. So as I said, Instagram for us, it's like it's not worth the resource
LinkedIn,
anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Reddit, maybe. I think that'd be a lot of it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Similar
I
ethos
personally
to
love
TikTok.
Reddit.
Yeah. I mean, the subreddits in there, the people are very broad and real
amazing.
about what they want to talk about. Confessing stuff.
I think it's that. I think your audience tell you. I think this is the thing. It's like, listen to your audience. Like, they will tell you. I think sometimes as brands and as businesses, we're guilty of putting things out that we want to put out. Sometimes there's like that bit of ego involved where it's like,
people will care.
Yeah, but I want to put that product out or I want to put that message out. Yeah, but your audience, is that what your audience want? Your consumer tells you what they want if you're listening.
They give you the feedback if it works or not.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, you just got to be listening.
Values. So I think in doing my research, you talk a lot about values publicly, and it's something that's quite personal to you, and you can reflect back into your business. What are your values of your business?
We've got business values and then we've got brand values, and I think sometimes people confuse the two. For us, they're separate. Our business and company values they're pretty straightforward. They're very much linked to things like open and honest communication and transparency and leading with integrity and being ethical and, all those kinds of things. And they do that obviously strays into the brand and how we operate as a brand. But from a brand perspective, it's very much about being real. Being real is probably right up there. Being real, being authentic, providing quality products. And it's really about flexing them. So we don't talk about them as much, but we just really flex them in everything that we do. And not everything that we do necessarily has to hit on every single value, but we never go against them. Yeah. We never compromise our values, like for anything, business or brand.
Is there a decision that you've made consciously that was like, this definitely does not align with what we want to do, and you've had to make a hard call?
Always. Yeah, I think there's always those decisions, like every day. And I think that's what values are for. Like, why have them if you're not testing them and flexing them? Yeah. To me, like, they're your compass. Yeah. So I always lean on them. I think if there's ever a tough decision to be made, or really any decision, I always look back at the values. And as I said, like, not every value has to align all of the time, but you can never go against them. That's how you know that a decision isn't right for your brand or for your business.
How do you align the team to those? Or how do you make sure that there's filtering through the team? Is there anything active that you do in your day-to-day, or is it just you're always talking about them?
I think it's that, always talking about them and just ensuring that everyone really understands the why and how their roles contribute to that. I think when people really understand that, it really helps. It just really helps them feel like they're part of that. And then as a result, they're always living them as well. I think it's just constantly living them. Yeah. And also kind of, hiring, firing on that basis as well. I mean, that's sort of, very, it's a very blunt way of putting it, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think it's really important to think about who you bring into the fold as well. So we just really live by our values all the time. Yeah.
You said you did this new branding as well. Like, should we pop that? Should we have a look at it?
The what, sorry?
Did you say there's new branding for the packaging?
There is.
Yeah, maybe we can.
We have some.
Yeah.
We did bring some in.
Yeah. I'm interested, because now, because no one's actually brought in a product yet. So I'm interested to hear your perspective and some of the choices made behind this as well. Yeah. Whether it be value driven or like what's going on with Moxie's brand at the moment.
So this was probably the biggest and I guess let's call it the most aggressive rebrand that we've ever done. Yeah. A full rebrand, I guess, in 20 years. So, and I say that because it's a full logo change as well. So our logo went from being quite cursive and a little softer and quite feminine to something that's quite bold, very bold.
Literally bold.
Yeah. So it's for those playing at home, the font was a lot thinner and almost I found it quite hard to read on pack, and that was part of the key driver to change it, was that it did have this kind of softness to it. One of our values is also femininity and being feminine. Femininity has really changed over 20 years. So what it means to be feminine, what it meant to be feminine then, in a way, was sort of this kind of, softness. Now, femininity is such a broad spectrum.
Well, it's bold as well. It's being...
there is a boldness to it now. Not that it didn't have a boldness then either.
It's more accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's more outwardly facing. Whereas I feel like then femininity in a way was not as accepted. It's something that was a little more like internalized. It was something perhaps that was a little more hidden.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like you do you and you be you.
Yeah.
And you can be whatever kind of feminine you want to be. It's not a classic femininity in, the classic sense of the word of girly and frilly. It can be whatever that looks like to you. And so that's something we really leaned into. So we went from sort of, a pastel coloured palette to a much bolder colour palette. So bolder colours, black text on the pack, which is much, much easier to read, a thicker, bolder font.
I love the font, actually.
The font's really fun.
We have debates at the office about fonts constantly.
The font is really fun.
I'm a big fan of that font.
Love it. Thank you. And just, making Moxie was always about making the whole experience easier. It's about making it easier and not just like something that's just purely functional. It's about not only making it functional and easier, but having a product that you buy because you like it. not just because you have to. So
you want to support a cool brand that fixes a pain point for you.
Yeah.
And
it fits with your lifestyle as well.
Feels good to buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I can sense that from like, that feels like good to pick up off a shelf.
Yeah. And you're not embarrassed to leave it on your bathroom shelf.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Or
looks
to have it in your bag or to have it in your shopping cart or whatever. Like it fits in like aesthetically with everything else that you buy.
Yeah.
We've also introduced, we're the first ones to ever do it. We've introduced real photographs on the back of the pack of the actual products. So these are actual product photos of like a raw tampon, a raw pad. So people know exactly what's inside.
So you grab it and you
grab it and you can see exactly what's in it. Because I would pick that up and go,
what is that? And then, this is what it is.
And that's all that's on the back. Again, for anyone who's just listening, that's all that you see. A lot of products or packaging just have like a tiny little graphic.
Yeah.
And it's pretty difficult to understand what the product actually is inside.
Yeah.
Whereas this is an actual photo of the product itself. And it's just not overdoing
that spongy packaging as well, the sort of like plasticky.
Well, everything now is, so we wrap everything in recyclable paper, including our pads. We're the first brand ever to do it on our pads. We had to build a machine to do it. So we're very, very much about sustainability and just being as conscious and as, I call it, as progressive as we can.
Yeah, and different.
It's not perfect, it's progressive. Maybe tomorrow there'll be some other innovation we come up with that's even better than recyclable paper. So I don't know, we're always moving, right? But for now it's recyclable paper. So a lot of brands are still wrapped in plastic. We don't use plastic. Our tampons and pads are wrapped in paper. So everything in this is recyclable.
Yeah.
So it was just, it was time for an upgrade. And yeah, I'm really, really proud of it.
I can sense that.
Yeah.
It's like you've taken everything that's wrong with the current product offering and just done the complete opposite in a way that's fun and unique and makes you go like, yeah, they can just keep doing that. I'm going to do this side. And people seem to just love it.
Yeah. And I think, and we did have a lot of people that say it's quite a far change. Is it too far? And I never wanted to be a me too. And you know what? It is a very far change for the category and maybe it does take some education, but that's part of what we do. Yeah. Education is a huge part of our mission and we have the platform to do it. And I think part of being a progressive brand is having progressive conversations and changing the status quo.
Yeah.
So if we're not doing that, what are we doing? Why do we exist? What's the point?
You just be another brand.
Yeah, what's the point? And the world's got enough stuff. We don't need more just like stuff. So do it differently or don't do it.
Yeah. What's the first conversation, that comes up, the common pain point, that the education piece that young women or even, anyone would really go like, I'm not sure if I should ask this question. This is a dumb question to ask, right? Like what usually comes up that you try to educate first about period care?
There's no dumb questions. That's the first one. And I think there's always this fear of like, I'm scared to ask.
Yeah. Even me asking, I feel a little bit silly.
And don't. Yeah, don't. And I think that's our biggest thing is, because that is such a huge issue, is that young people are so afraid to ask, which is why there's sort of little open dialogue in the space, is because young people are afraid to have conversations. And we say, there's no dumb questions. Ask anything you want. People are just really not aware about their own bodies and about, basic and very natural bodily functions. No one's talking about it. No one's teaching it. Often parents don't know how to have those conversations.
You could say that.
Yeah. Schools are not teaching it. In Australia anyway, there's no formalised curriculum for sex ed. Some schools do take it upon themselves to do it, and they do that, but there's nothing like very formalised in the curriculum. So it's kind of just the basic stuff, like what's happening to my body, what's going on down there.
What's going on? Like that's the first thing.
Yeah, like without getting super graphic about it.
Yeah.
But and they kind of are the same questions on repeat. So we make a lot of videos about that. And as I said, some of our videos arguably are not safe for work. We think they're safe for work because we think this should just be open discussion, right? But yeah, some people perhaps are not ready for those convos yet. So it
hasn't been brought up a lot in just normal day-to-day conversations. Yeah. But it is a private thing, I'm guessing, for people to talk about. But
yeah, we're trying to change that. We're trying to just, in a and that's part of it as well, is having the conversation in such a way that makes people comfortable. It is what it is. It's just life. It's a part of life.
It's not surprising.
No, it's not surprising. It happens to all of us, just in different ways.
Yeah.
Like, we all go through changes as we grow up, and it's going to happen, and we should all understand what those changes are. It's not a secret.
Yeah. Eliminating the stigma around it.
Yeah.
And you're doing that through the product, you're doing it through your education. So you're just hitting it on all fronts. Really.
Trying to, yeah.
So from your day-to-day personal life, how do you manage that? Because you're trying to do this impactful thing for young women and all women actually. But also, how are you going with that day-to-day? Like, how do you structure your day to make sure that you're being the founder that you want to be, the business owner that you want to be?
That's a good question. My days can be hectic, and not to sound like, I hate it when people are just like, I'm so busy. Because sometimes I think that, like, if you're that busy and you're not organized, so I try and be really organized. So I just really try and be organized, because I really, like, I'm a doer. So I love to work like in and on the business. I love marketing. I love brand. That's my background. So I still really enjoy doing that stuff. I love doing new product development. I love getting super hands-on with TikTok, because it allows me to have that like direct rapport and relationship with the customer and to understand their pain points and what they want, which then allows me to translate that into product.
So you're on TikTok, like going through the questions?
I'm on TikTok.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going through the questions. I'm responding to the questions. I'm working with, we've got like a team of medical professionals that we work with. So we've got gynos and naturopaths and other professionals that we work with that obviously help us to answer some of those medical questions. So we've got, reams of message points basically.
Got the stats.
We've got the stats. We've got all the info. So I love being really hands-on with that. I'm learning myself. I'm still learning about my body. My gosh, like there's so much to know. You never stop learning. But I think that stuff's really important as well. So I think it's one thing to be, business owner and to do sort of the high-level strategic stuff, but I also do like kind of getting arguably in the weeds in a way, because that's when you really learn what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
And you can sort of find out where the gaps are.
What hat do you like wearing? You said brand and marketing. Is it a hat you like wearing? What's the hat that you're like, I don't want to?
Finance, anything to do with finance. I answered that so quickly. Like anything to do with finance. Like, I'm just not wired that way. I'm not wired that way. I never have been. Just don't ask me to do anything financial.
But surely you have to wear it sometimes, or do you really try?
Yeah. Look, no, you do. Like, I think you have to know your numbers, but I'm a huge believer in, you don't, as a business owner, founder, whatever, you don't have to be good at everything or do everything. Do what you're good at, do what you love, and then engage the right people who are experts in their fields to do everything else that you either are not good at or that you hate. So, yeah.
So you can spend more time.
It's my secret weapon
dealing with the customer issues.
I've got a really good CFO. That's the,
there's great power in having great people around the business.
Absolutely.
So you can focus on it.
Yeah.
So you're playing in a space where you're dealing with customer questions and you're still hands-on in that respect. Yeah. And that's obviously providing a lot of good value to your customers and also to you, because you seem very like happy about that. You seem.
I honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably, I feel like, I mean, the product is one thing, but honestly, like having this direct rapport and just seeing the impact that it has on people, what we've been able to do with like this free education piece and seeing the impact that that's had has been also really impactful on me personally. And it's just, it's just given me such a drive. So I feel really fortunate that I've been afforded that in a way.
Yeah. Is there a particular interaction that was like, you'll remember that till your last day?
There was one literally yesterday. We got a DM from it. It's so funny that you say that actually. Honestly, anyone that takes the time to write to you to say that like your little period brand made a difference, like honestly, it floors me. I think that the fact that someone has taken time out of their day to give you a compliment is, it sounds kind of cheesy, but it like that really hits me. Like that gives me the feels.
Nice chunky message about how awesome you are.
And yesterday it was a DM on TikTok from a 14-year-old girl, and I know that because she told me she was 14. She told us she was 14. She said, I'm a 14-year-old girl, and she said that she had been struggling with her first period. She was really embarrassed by it, and she had discovered our channel and she had been following, and she'd watched a heap of our videos, and she just wanted to say that it had made everything so much easier for her, and she felt so much better about it, and she just wanted to say thank you and to keep doing what we were doing. And I was like, and I shared that with the team, and I just went, this is what it's about. Like, we're actually doing, 21-year-old me set out to change the experience for women and people with periods, and here's someone telling me that we've changed her experience with periods. Yeah,
it's the day one
tick. I was like, oh, amazing. That's it right there.
And that just happened yesterday.
That's what it's about. So it was yesterday. Yeah.
Hopefully you get one of those a day, and that
Honestly,
just keeps the fuel in the fire.
One a week, it's like,
yeah.
That's
brilliant.
It's pretty good. Stuff, that's the stuff. That's the stuff that.
There's no price tag on that.
No.
Incredible. What's next for Moxie after this point? Like, where are you taking it? You mentioned a few things, initiatives, but what's your next big vision for it? Because most people at this stage might be going, I've done enough, but I feel like you want to do more.
No, I don't think I'll ever say I've done enough. It's funny. People are like, when do you think, like, do you feel successful? I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No,
perspective.
Not at all. Not at all. It keeps me motivated, actually. What's next? I think like global. I think going 2 mil on TikTok is the next
2 mil.
Is the next goal. Yeah, why not? I mean, I didn't think we'd hit 1 mil, so I think let's go for 2 mil. We hit 1 mil in 18 months.
Yes.
So it has definitely slowed. It's definitely like, it's kind of like plateaued a little. The growth is a bit slower, but maybe that's a sign to now actually start putting some resource behind it.
Imagine if you did.
The goal would be 2 mil.
That's global domination.
Yeah. So why not? Like, think big, right? So I'd say 2 mil on TikTok if I'm putting numbers behind it, and then taking the brand like more global. So some big international markets. So as I said, we've got sort of trademarks locked up and ready to go, and we're speaking to some markets. I've got some big meetings this week, actually, fingers crossed.
Time zone's probably cooked, but...
Time zone is absolutely cooked, yeah. Yeah, anyone watching this video can see the bags under my eyes. So yeah,
I can't tell.
Very early mornings. Yeah, but it's all good stuff. So yeah, fingers crossed. That would be really, really incredible, I think, for the brand, and just like take things to a whole other level.
Yeah. And then you personally, what alongside the business, is personal goals still aligning with the business? But is there anything else that you're hunting for? Are you looking to do something new, or just keep focusing on the same?
I love brand, and I've still got a passion for brand, and obviously my own, but other brands. So I would very much still like to touch and engage with other brands. So whether that's starting something else, working with other brands, I do some consulting, I hate that word, loosely on the side, supporting other brands, you could call it. I don't know. So yeah, potentially something in that space. Yeah, I'm sort of starting to think about like what's next for Mia, because I think it's not just this. I think I'll continue to do this for a while yet, but yeah, I'm like, I can't sit still. Just like, I'm always kind of thinking, oh, what else is there? So yeah, I'm literally at that moment right now where I'm thinking about what does the next few years look like for me. And I don't know what that looks like, and I'm putting myself in the shoes of 18-year-old Mia with like the mindset of, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Like, what am I going to do for my career? What am I going to do with my life? So I'm putting myself in that headspace, and I went from being a bit fearful to being excited. So I'm excited.
The world's open.
The world's open.
Wide open.
Yeah, I'm like, the only thing stopping me is me. So yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know.
When And I feel like questions are always asked about, if you go back in time, what would you change? But what's a mistake that you just had to just experience and you would never take away that experience from yourself at 21 or 20 or 18?
Like honest, like how much time do you have? Like I've made so many mistakes. Like I make mistakes every day. But I don't fear them because I think unless you're making mistakes, you're not pushing, right? So I think, as I said earlier, like export was the big one, exporting when we did. And that wasn't sort of a conscious mistake. It was just like jumping the gun, I think, too soon. But had we not, I think I always would have questioned what if. So had we not done it, I always would have said, oh my gosh, what if we had done that? We should have done that. Because something would have happened. Like definitely a retailer would have done their own thing, or they would have gone with another brand. They would have taken on another player, and I would have said that should have been us. We should have done that. So maybe it didn't necessarily work out the way that I intended, but I think at least I wasn't asking what if. Yeah. I think it had to happen. Yeah. And also I learned a lot. So now that I'm going in for round 2, I know not to do the dumb stuff again.
Yeah. You put in the hard yards, the reps, you know what to expect.
I think it taught me resilience. It taught me, what to do, what not to do. Yeah, I think there's always learnings in it.
How do you handle really hard seasons of the business or even burnout, quote unquote, buzzword, when you get really low? Like what's your methodology for shaking out of it?
Great question. And I feel like so many of us suffer this, and sometimes we don't realize we're suffering from burnout. I definitely do and haven't recognized it in the past. I always come back to my why. Like what's my why? What's my personal why? What's my business why? And I think to myself, does that still align? Am I still aligned to that? Yes or no? Depending on what that answer is, I either like recalibrate or have some tough like conversations with myself. So that's sort of one layer. And then the other thing is to remind myself that there's a Mia outside of the work version of myself, because I can just get I just become so tied to my work, and I just have to remind myself that there's a life outside of that. And that's so important. So doing things that I love and just remembering the things that I love to do outside of my work, because I do love my work. And sometimes the team joke that I'm chained to my desk because I could, like, if you left me there, I'd just happily stay there and just, keep working. But that's not healthy. So just remembering what you love and taking that time to step away. So for me, it's being device free. Not having devices around. I have to not have devices around me. Otherwise I will find an excuse to use it. So do
you really lock yourself out of doing it?
I have. So for me, it's things like going to a Pilates class where they don't allow phones on the floor. So I don't even know what time it is. I don't check the phone. Saunas are fantastic. Like 45 minutes in an infrared sauna is amazing. Like I'll just do a meditation for 45 minutes, no phone. That's amazing. Such a good reset. Dinners with friends, no phone policy. Like just go back to doing like simple pleasures, doing what you love. And sometimes those little resets are all you need. A few times a week. Amazing. It's just
no devices.
Cathartic.
Very pure.
Yeah.
Very pure.
It sounds cliched, but it's like we're just so glued to them. I think the thing is like we're so accessible all of the time. Sometimes you just need to not be accessible.
Especially if you're spending a lot of time on TikTok. That is the most purest form of being
isn't it?
attention
right?
deriving videos, just constantly feeding through comments.
Yeah.
So
and I'm now I try and not have meetings before 11 a.m. now, even on work days. I try and just keep my mornings for me. So just, doing my own to-do, that's like my exercise time and my own work. Like I do my emails, my to-do list for the day. It's just, that's me a time, and then meetings after 11, and then notifications are like silenced at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've actually structured the 6 hour.
Tried to put some structure around it.
Yeah, the 6 hour block. I was talking to someone else and they do the 6 hour block and go, that's the time.
That's it.
And it may filter outside of those hours sometimes, but most of the time they're focusing on there's just that pure
trying to create
creative,
some boundaries.
Yeah.
Trying. trying. It's not perfect. Again, it's not perfect. It's progressive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think there's a lot of expectation to have this perfect routine as a founder or business owner. Like that's going to solve all your issues, but it actually doesn't.
I don't know. Look, these people that are like, I wake up at 5 a.m. and I do this and I have the perfect day, and then I sleep at midnight and I only get 5 hours sleep. And it's like, what? Like, who are you? Who are these unicorns? I don't know. Like
lizard people.
Just do what you can. Do what works for you.
They don't have a heart.
Do what works for you. Yeah, I don't know.
Cool. So here on Beyond the Fold, we are having conversations about what matters most. So for someone listening to this conversation, what do you want to leave them with?
Oh, I would say, I mean, for me, and something that I live by is that I never compromise my values for anything. I don't compromise values and don't burn bridges. And I think you sleep well at night as a result.
Beautiful. So where can people find you if they want to reach out?
TikTok at Moxie HQ.
She will answer your question quite literally. Should they tag you like at Mia as well?
You can tag me. You'll find me on TikTok. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn. Mia Klitsas on LinkedIn. But yeah, check us out on TikTok or on the website moxie.com.au. I actually also am on the receiving end of all of our customer inquiries as well. So I read everything and I try and respond to as many as I can as well. So yes, I'm that person. I'm not a control freak, believe it or not.
Well, there'll be a lot of people buying your product every day. So that is
just very hands-on.
Because she cares. Because you obviously care about this space.
But I'm around. Yeah, I'm around. If you want to reach me,
That's very cool. You can directly talk to the founder of the business, the foremost expert on period care in Australia. That is so accessible to people. That's incredible.
We're here for you.
Cool. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.